time trial with the Fitme by Maybelline in color 235. We're going to do a first impressions on this. I haven't used this product before, but I've heard a lot of good things about it for individuals who have oily skin and who are looking for a full coverage that won't wear off. So I'm hoping that it will also cover up the melasma. Along with that, we are going to be doing a full face of makeup. I think I'm going to do something sparkly today. So let's see how that goes, see what kind of inspiration strikes me today. And so let's get started. So the only thing that I've done so far is I have actually washed and moisturized my face probably about 20-30 minutes ago. I like to let the moisturizer sit in for a little while. Usually, sometimes I do it on camera and I don't have time for it to actually sit in. So, and then I'm going in with the Nivea Skin Balm for Men Aftershave that I always use for my time trials and my first impressions. So that always feels so good on the face. Get that a little bit to dry. And then I'll be going over it with some translucent powder. As you may know, if you've been to this channel before, I have a specific routine that I follow that builds up layers on my face that helps prevent my face from the oil in my skin from causing the foundation and makeup to separate. And I do this because it helps prevent the makeup from fading, which in turn helps cover up the melasma for a longer period of time. Now, I'm not sure how long the wear is on this foundation. Let me just take a look. It says 10 hours to oily skin. It actually doesn't say how long it will wear for, so we'll just have to see today. It is now 11:57. That went away. 11:57, and that's my daughter in the picture there. And I'll wear it till about 12 o'clock tonight if I stay up that late. But we'll do at least 10 hours of wear, so we'll get it to at least 10 o'clock, and we'll 10 o'clock, so that again is for about 10-11 hours of wear. And let's see how it goes. Okay, so the next step that I do now that that's dried in, it doesn't feel tacky or anything, it feels pretty weightless on the skin, is I go in with my translucent powder. And as always, I'm using the Revlon Photo Ready. Got a bit of makeup on there. That's where the tag was, price tag. So going with a little bit of the Revlon Photo Ready. Not a lot. That will help soak up some of the oil, as will the aftershave, which I used as a primer. And if you go and look on the internet, it was all over the internet last year, the aftershave as a primer. And it works really well, like everything kind of just sticks like glue to your face. It's really incredible. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to spray my face with some setting spray. And I'm using the NYX. So next thing I'm going to do is set my face with some setting spray. Not too much. And something that I just learned from Nikki Tutorials, if you watch Nikki Tutorials, is that it's really good to fan your face after the setting spray, because that helps lock it in as well, as opposed to letting it air dry. It's better to just kind of fan your face. So I'm going to fan my face a bit. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the foundation. Brand spanking new, not a drop of dirt on it. I'm hoping that this will cover it. As you may know, I tend to go with lighter foundations because my neck tends to be rather light. So I don't try to match the rest of my face. Oh, I know I'm skipping a step. Let's just put that back. Before I forget, I have to go with my concealer, or with my color corrector. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my color corrector. It is the LA Girls Color Corrector. I've been using it for about 2 or 3 months, and I find that it works really well. Just taking that packaging off. I just bought a new one. Lasted me about 2 months, and I'll show you how big it is once I get it off. Okay, so there it is, the LA Girls Pro Color Corrector Concealer. This one's a concealer, but it's a pinkish color, so it can be used as a color corrector. As you may tell, I have melasma all over my entire face, my forehead, everywhere. So I tend to put this everywhere. And I'm learning that less is more. I used to go with a lot more, but I'm trying to get down to using less. I'm trying to do that with the foundation as well. I just found that I was putting on too much product. I have a big melasma spot that I don't notice until I've got my makeup on, that's right underneath my left side of my lip. And I noticed it on camera. So I'm trying to make sure I cover that. Now I'm just going to do this with my fingers. Cover up my forehead, my cheeks. Well, less is more. Let's dab a little bit of that off. And it helps you with the dark circles under your eyes as well. There we go, that side did well. And if you do your foundation correctly, you don't notice any of this pink tinge underneath whatsoever. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit more right here underneath this eye. Okay, so now we'll go in with the foundation. So I don't know about you guys, but this week seemed like a really long week to me. It seemed like I had so much work to do. I find it better when I dab it on with the Beauty Blender than when I dab it on with my fingers. Looks like it might be a good match. We'll have to see. Okay, so let's get started with the blending. And also you'll know that I tend to put on my foundation first, which is kind of ass backwards, but I do put on my foundation first. And I put on my eyeshadow after I've done my face. The reason for this is because the melasma is so bad that when I put on the eyeshadow first, it doesn't have much of an impact and it kind of looks really weird and out of place. So I put on my foundation first, and this is going to need another coat. Absolutely is going to need another coat. So I tend to put on my foundation first so that my face looks a little bit done. And then I go in with my eyeshadow after I've got my foundation and my blush and stuff on, so my face looks a little bit alive. But this is building pretty good. It's covering well when it builds, when you build it up. And as for underneath my eyes, I still have to put some concealer underneath there. And I'll be using the Double Wear by Estee Lauder. I found that that concealer is really good. And this is a cheapo beauty blender, but I have to say it's really firm, and I like the firmness of it as opposed to the Real Techniques one. Usually I'm so excited and I'm just like, yay, covered my melasma, but I'm a little bit easier going on the products than I am now. I'm really giving it a fair shake, and I'm not going to be building it up. I do think the coverage could be a little bit better. But for a drugstore product, I'm okay with it. And now I'm just putting on the concealer, the Double Wear. I found that this concealer is really good. It barely budges, if it budges at all. Tiny bit more onto my right eye. That dark circle is really hard to cover today. I do think the foundation makes a big difference as to how well you get things covered, because that is the first layer of camouflage that you're putting on. Well, actually it's not, it's the second layer of camouflage. The first layer is the color corrector. So that looks okay. So that looks okay now. Okay, so now I'm going to do a light dusting again of the Photo Ready. My eye. And this one, it seems like it's very matte already, which is really nice, because I like a matte finish. But I think starting every other week, starting next week, I'll start doing some luminous ones, because I said I would bring you some luminous ones as well, because a lot of people like a dewy finish. But being that I have the oils, I tend to not like something that's going to give me extra shine. So, okay, that looks pretty good actually. The coverage looks pretty good.